You may not know Andrew Burgos, but you sure have seen Andrew Burgos. Andrew Burgos has always been a Wildcat, and through those 4 years, Andrew Burgos has been the Victor E. Wildcat. I caught up with Andrew Burgos' friends, mentors, and teachers to talk to them about what they thought Andrew Burgos was like through his high school career. This is the man behind the mask. Two of the most influential people in Andrew Burgos' life through his high school careers is Bob and Jeff Lutz. Bob and Jeff Lutz have a radio sports talk show on KFH every day from 4 to 6. They talk about sports, high school, college, and pro. And Andrew Burgos calls that show every day just to talk to them and then always brings up Mulvane Wildcats in the process. So of course, they had some words to describe Andrew Burgos.
I would describe Andrew Burgos as a very energetic, positive, effusive, engaging, funny, polite. Young man, there aren't enough adjectives in the English language to describe Andrew Burgos. He's a fantastic human being. We love when he calls our show. We loved having him around when he joined us in the studio. So we can't say enough good things about Mr. Burgos, or Burgos as you call him.
Enthusiastic, seems to love life, be excited about his life ahead, and I think that probably rubs up on everything he's around.
So why did Andrew Burgos call the drive?
I guess something struck him one day as he was listening, maybe a particular topic or, way that we were communicating as father and son, and he just latched on and he began calling. We developed a little bit of a relationship with him. My dad went out to see him perform as the mascot for Mulvane High, and we've come to expect him now to call just about every day in the first segment of the show.
I think Andrew just basically calls our show because he likes the show and wants to be a part of it. He typically doesn't really go to a main topic. He just likes to call, say hello, and pump us up, and let us know he's out there, and that he's fun. And he's obviously a big sports fan. He loves Mulvane Wildcats. He likes to keep us up to date on what's going on in Mulvane. I'd say if there's one theme that runs through his calls, it's his love for Mulvane.
So it wasn't just Andrew Burgos' mentors that had something to say about Burgos, but his peers too in KCAT.
Burgos is a character.
So Burgos is a very, very energetic person.
Andrew Burgos. First thing that comes to my mind when I think of him is just very energetic. I don't think he has a end point, I guess, I don't think he ever runs out of energy. He's always hyper. He's always there. Even if he's in a bad mood, he's always there to help someone else no matter what. And he can always turn someone's mood from bad to good, I guess.
Like, he's always there to help, and he's always there to live stream the games.
So Burgos is a one-of-a-kind kind of person because he does everything that we don't do. So, he's always there for live streaming. I mean, so is Chayton, but, he's also there to supply his food sometimes when he brings his lunch. That's kind of fun. But he also takes his, segment seriously. He'll pick it out, and he'll just, he'll get it. It may be, kind of late, but, he'll get it done. So, yeah.
They all had their special moments with Burgos, too.
Of, moments, but definitely the favorites would have to be when he could, literally just sit down and write a song about anybody that would, walk into the room. That one would stick out the most. Yeah. Or, Burgos ideas, that's another one that, there's many of those moments, but it's always entertaining to have him in class.
My favorite moment was when he was commentating the basketball game, and he just sets the mic down and goes, "Defense!"
Okay, I want to add on to Chayton's story. So I saw this all happen from the bench with all the players, and it was the funniest thing because I just see him just set the mic down very calmly. He walks over to where the band's at, and he's just screaming hollering, getting everyone to do it with him, and it was super funny. He was just like, woo!
Bob and Jeff also had some input when it came to when Burgos called and why it made it so special.
He, over the last maybe 5 or 6 times that he's called, I've really tried to match his energy because, you know, the joke is that I'm kind of like a little bit of a even keel, don't get too high, don't really show a whole lot of emotion on the show. So whenever Andrew calls and he's extremely, you know, enthusiastic and energetic and engaging, I try to match that. So that's kind of the running joke now on the show, is that when Andrew calls, I'll for 2 minutes or so try to match his energy.
He's such a good-natured kid, so we all always get a kick out of his calls. We always look forward to it. It's almost like, what I wonder what's wrong with Andrew on the days he doesn't call. So we really get a lot of enjoyment out of Andrew. He breathes a lot of life into our radio show.
Bob and Jeff also knew that Andrew Burgos was Victory Wildcat for Mulvane, and I think they knew the real reason what made him so special as a mascot.
The energy to it, he believes in it. It's something that he has a passion for. Obviously, school spirit is something that he cares about. You can tell when he talks about some of his classmates and the athletes that perform at Mulvane High School that these are people who really mean something to him. So I think that's why, just because like in everything else Andrew does, that he's positive. There's no pretense to him. It's all real. There's nothing that's an act about him. And I think people are just drawn to that, whether he's in his costume, his mascot outfit or not.
I think he studies it. I think he probably, knowing that kid, I bet he looks at the mannerisms of other mascots. I think he takes it seriously. He wants to represent. He wants to be somebody who's approachable. I just think he takes it seriously and takes pride in being a mascot.
So you might have heard Burgos' peers talk about Burgos ideas. Well, Mike Apostolo, Burgos' journalism teacher, had some input about what Burgos ideas were.
Burgos ideas are ideas that come through a high school student's idea factory without a filter, and they just find their way out into the open, where sometimes they find other people to agree with them, but when you think them through, you realize that's probably not a great idea, and you probably should have thought that through just a little bit more. And then when you come to your senses and you realize that probably wasn't the greatest idea ever, that's what a Burgos idea is. Burgos ideas aren't necessarily a bad thing, because I think there's one thing that the source of a Burgos idea is from a lot of energy. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of there's a lot of desire, there's a lot of creativity involved in wanting to do something or create something and just go 100 miles an hour towards it, but it's kind of a Burgos idea. So that's where it comes from, and whenever there started to be a questionable idea, all of those ideas just got quickly termed as Burgos ideas.
He also had a ton of examples when it came to Burgos ideas.
Some of the best Burgos ideas, probably should have wrote those down. We could sell a book. Well, one would be, I'm in charge of the senior video, which is great. And then realizing at the end of the year has not done anything for the senior video. Then canceling the senior video. Then restarting the senior video and doing it in about 3 days. Burgos idea. Probably one of the worst of the best. The worst of the best Burgos ideas was playing my guitar during class in KCAT hour. And if one guitar wasn't enough, I brought two. Just brought two guitars, and then I just let other people play the guitar. So then I'm playing the guitar, and he's playing the guitar, and we're all playing the guitar, and it's in the middle of KCAT. That's a Burgos idea.
Ian Comer talked about one of the biggest Burgos ideas ever that involved him.
I was at the basketball team dinner that night at Drew's house, and Drew pulled it up on YouTube and showed me. Like, I went up, blocked Tyler, and then Burgos started screaming, "Blocked by a freshman! Blocked by a freshman! Welcome to Mulvane basketball."
So here is the Comer moment.
Here goes number one's gonna try it. Number five, blocked by a freshman! Blocked by a freshman! Ian Comer! Welcome to Mulvane basketball!
I don't know, it was pretty cool how Burgos got all excited about it. I don't know, he brings a lot of energy, and like he makes it fun. Like, broadcasting usually ain't that fun, but like he makes it fun somehow.
Mr. Apostolo had a take on what it was like to be a mascot and why Burgos was such a good one.
I think a school's mascot, is probably one of the most difficult positions to fill for a school, especially to do it right, to have somebody with a lot of energy, to have someone with a lot of desire, or someone that understands what the mascot is and does and how they perform. That's always a difficult thing to find a high school student to do. And when it all kind of comes together, especially for 4 years, as in like Burgos, it's pretty cool. It's also, you realize you kind of take that for granted when Burgos is now graduating and kind of moving on, and the school's left without anyone to fill his shoes. That's when he's gone, you kind of realize, how special and how nice, how easy you had it when someone was that willing to dedicate themselves to being the best mascot that they could be. Not a lot of people know, it's the thankless job, but it's also something that just adds to the atmosphere of a Friday night football game or a pep assembly or a traveling pep assembly. It's probably the one thing that every single kindergartner through third grader remembers about the traveling pep assembly is the mascot, high-fiving them or hugging them or taking a picture with them or something, more than anything else. So it's a special position, and it's definitely hard to find someone, and Burgos is going to be definitely hard to replace.
Shelly Millage, Andrew Burgos' cheer coach, had some words to say about Burgos being the mascot for the last 4 years.
When we do the Mel Hamilton Ford pep rally, he actually has won the mascot competition. He always does a great job of hyping up everybody when they are around. He does great when we do cheer chicks and interacts with the little kids. Does a good job of going out onto the football field when we do the junior football for green and white scrimmage. He's just awesome at getting everybody hyped up and being excited all the time. Andrew made a great mascot because, number one, he was always really good about being excited and energetic. And honestly, a good mascot really has to have a little bit of that aspect of they don't mind embarrassing themselves. Just watching him interact with kids, the best parts are just watching him get mobbed with kids, where he just kind of gets overwhelmed with just kids surrounding him, and it never seems to bother him. But it was just funny to look over and see, the Wildcat surrounded by 20 little Munson and grade school kids, and just having a great time over there, getting them all to do weird dances and jumping around, and they all liked to try and tap him on the head, and he's so tall that was, of course, something entertaining to watch. Every time Andrew put that Wildcat head on, he actually transformed into Victory Wildcat. He was all about making sure people were showing school spirit and being energetic and supporting the teams. I think Andrew's favorite part of being the Wildcat was a little bit of the anonymity of being able to act like a goofball without everybody knowing who it was, especially the first couple of years that he did it. Of course, this year, I think everybody knew that Victory Wildcat was Andrew.
Lastly, Andrew Burgos' Stuco president talked about how Burgos represented our school in a great way.
I think Andrew Burgos represents our school in a very positive way. He is always very happy to see everyone, and he could come up to anyone in the hallways and make a conversation with them and just make them feel very welcomed. I think Andrew is a great mascot because he is constantly yelling and his spirit is contagious with everyone around him. And plus, he loves to do it, and it's his favorite thing in the world. And he's a very committed person. I think that our mascot here at the high school represents the unity that we have within our student body and just within all the staff here at Mulvane. I think it shows that we can be fierce at times, but we also have very good sportsmanship and leadership within our school.
So now Andrew Burgos is going to be a part of the Spirit Squad at Cali. So the day of his signing, he talked about what he's going to do at Cali.
I'm going to be a sports broadcaster. I'm going to major in being a journalist/sports broadcaster. I'd love to be part of the Spirit Squad because it's a lot of fun and it's super exciting, and I just can't wait to be in the environment of Cali and everyone being excited, hyped, and ready to go no matter what. To the people of Mulvane, thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for accepting Victory Wildcat to the community, and thank you for all your support. Thank you for all that you've done, giving me high fives, showing your little kids who I am. It means the world to me that Victory Wildcat is now a household name in Mulvane.
You won't find a mascot with a bigger heart for Mulvane or more pride for your school than the man behind the mask, Andrew Burgos.
Well, I'm not a young man, but I do look forward to seeing what Andrew accomplishes over the next several years as he goes off to college. And I know he's a determined kid and wants to make his mark. And it'll be fun to just see how Andrew grows and what field he eventually goes into. And if he's able to make it as a broadcaster, which I think is now his dream, it's just going to be fun to keep track of Andrew in the years ahead.
Burgos, I hope we can keep in touch when you go on to Cowley Community College. I hope you continue to call the show. I hope we continue to have that relationship, and we hope to see him again around the studio. It would be great if he visited us again.
Burgos, you're going to go far in sports broadcasting. Keep up your hard work and your determination. Yeah, that's all I have. Trey?
I'll miss your carrots and ranch that you brought every day.
You may be graduating, but you're not leaving, and I know we're going to see you all the time, but I'm still going to miss having you in class, even though you'll be at everything that's outside of school.
I'm definitely going to miss Burgos commentating and absolutely screaming his head off when he's commentating and just yelling into the mic.
Hi, Burgos. What's up? I'm kind of picking back off of Sean. You're not going anywhere. I know you're graduating, but, we're going to see you everywhere, which will be kind of fun, but it's going to suck not having you in class. Yeah, we're always going to see you at Chick-fil-A. We'll make sure we go once a week, say hi, get something, and then leave.
Just stay you.
The one thing that I would tell Andrew about being the mascot these past 4 years would be he's irreplaceable. No one will ever fulfill what he has made here. He's kind of set up the hype for the Wildcat, and he's just the spirit that he brings everywhere he goes. It just won't be the same, and I know he's going to do great things at Cali.
As a journalism teacher, as a broadcasting teacher, it's always fun to take the reins off and let students find their own way, do their own creativity, do their own videos, come up with their own ideas, and not really put any limits on them. And it's been fun to watch Burgos, his light bulb kind of get brighter and brighter and brighter as he's starting to realize he likes the video, he likes the journalism, he wants to expand, he wants to do it professionally, he wants to do it in college. Those are always rewarding things to see in a student, and there's no question that Andrew has the desire for it, has the energy for it, has the want to, and I think that's probably one of the most important things that'll carry him through. And now it'll be someone else's job to rein in the Burgos ideas and point him in the right direction. But he's definitely already headed in the right direction.
Andrew, you've been an awesome mascot. There are huge shoes to fill, not just figuratively, but literally. But you have been a huge part of Mulvane school spirit, and we are definitely going to miss you.